Welcome to our YouTube channel, your ultimate source for all the latest updates. It's finally over, or so everyone in Los Angeles believes, but nothing ever truly ends on the bold and the beautiful. The words "Luna was transferred to a secret prison far away from LA" echo like a haunting storm across the Forrester, Logan, and Spencer families. The quiet tension that followed her disappearance from the public record has left everyone divided, shaken, and questioning what justice really means in this world of beauty, betrayal, and bloodlines. Luna Nozawa, once the sweet and hopeful designer who embodied innocence and ambition, is now a ghost whispered about in the hallways of Forrester Creations. After her conviction, the public believed she'd serve her sentence at the Los Angeles Women's Correctional Facility. But just days after sentencing, she vanished. No trace, no paperwork, no official transfer notice. Lee Finnegan insists it was for her own safety. Bill Spencer suspects a deeper conspiracy, and Finn is caught between the woman he once saved and the mother who might have destroyed her life forever. The revelation that Luna was moved to a classified government site, a secret prison reserved for high-risk cases tied to ongoing investigations, has sent shockwaves through LA's elite. Rich Forrester had tried to put the scandal behind him, focusing on the family legacy, but even he can't escape the whispers that someone powerful intervened to make Luna disappear permanently. At Forrester Creations, Hope Logan feels the weight of guilt gnawing at her. She was one of the last people to speak to Luna before the transfer, begging her to confess what really happened that night, the night that destroyed so many lives. Luna's eyes, filled with both sorrow and defiance, had told Hope everything she needed to know without a single word. Hope now wonders whether Luna's tears were those of a guilty woman or a victim framed by forces beyond her control. Meanwhile, R.J. Forrester has become a shadow of himself. Since Luna's imprisonment, he's refused to step foot inside the Forrester building. The young designer who once dreamed of love and a bright future has become isolated, spending sleepless nights obsessing over letters that never reach her. Every envelope is returned stamped, unable to deliver. He even hired a private investigator, one who later mysteriously withdrew from the case, muttering only that Luna isn't where you think she is. Rich tried to comfort his son, but RJ lashed out, blaming his family, his mother, and even the Forrester name for Luna's fate. He accused them all of standing by while an innocent woman was taken away, like a criminal. Rich doesn't know what's worse, the pain in his son's eyes or the possibility that Luna truly was framed. Bill Spencer, never one to back down when something smells foul, decided to dig deeper. His instinct told him something was wrong from the start. Luna's sentencing was too quick, her transfer too secretive, and Lee's silence too calculated. He began using his media empire to uncover the truth, but even his most trusted sources hit a wall. Someone had erased Luna's records, sealed the court documents, and silenced anyone connected to the case. Katie warned him that pushing too hard could put them all in danger, but Bill couldn't let go, not after seeing how this broke RJ and Finn apart. The two young men, once friends and colleagues, now stand on opposite sides of the truth. Finn claims that Luna's case is over and that everyone needs to move on, but deep down, he knows there's more. He saw the desperation in Luna's eyes the night of her arrest. He remembers her trembling hands as she said, "Finn, if I disappear, don't believe what they tell you." Those words haunt him every night, especially now that he's learned of her secret transfer. Lee, his mother, remains eerily calm, telling him that Luna's situation is being handled at the federal level and that he should stay out of it. But Finn is beginning to question his mother's motives more than ever before. Did Lee orchestrate Luna's transfer to bury something from her past? Or is she protecting someone more dangerous than anyone realizes? Meanwhile, Sheila Carter lurks in the background, her piercing smirk suggesting she knows more than anyone suspects. When she overheard Bill and Deacon talking about Luna's secret prison transfer, her cryptic remark, "Not everyone who disappears stays gone forever," sent chills down their spines. Sheila has a knack for surviving the impossible, and now she seems almost amused by Luna's fate. She's been whispering around town that Luna's not dead, not truly locked away, but hidden, protected. Deacon tried to ignore her madness, but something about her tone felt chillingly true. If Luna was indeed moved to a secret facility, who would have the power to make that happen? Bill began tracing the trail of sealed documents and found one strange clue, a single signature under warden authorization belonging to someone named Dr. H. Sato, a name linked to international psychiatric facilities, not prisons. That discovery changed everything. It suggested Luna wasn't just imprisoned, she was being treated or contained under the guise of mental instability. Was she being silenced or rehabilitated? And who stood to gain from keeping her out of LA? As the weeks passed, the city of Los Angeles moved on, but the undercurrent of mystery only deepened. Brooke Logan, ever the motherly voice of reason, tried to console Hope and RJ, reminding them that sometimes justice looks different from what we expect. But even she couldn't ignore the unease in her gut. When she heard whispers that a secret plane left Los Angeles County late at night under a forged transport order, Brooke confided in Ridge, who finally admitted that he, too, had heard something from Carter Walton, something about a judge being pressured into signing the transfer order under duress. Ridge suspects that someone high up, maybe even in the Spencer or Forrester circle, paid for Luna's disappearance. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. Luna once dreamed of designing for Forrester, and now the same powerful family might have had a hand in erasing her existence. The guilt spreads like wildfire, infecting everyone who ever cared about her. Over in the shadows, Lee Finnegan sits alone in her office, staring at Luna's old medical file. Her fingers tremble as she rereads the confidential note tucked at the back. Subject exhibits extreme emotional instability. Containment required for public safety. But she didn't write that note. Someone else did, someone from an international agency that had once worked with her during her early career. Could Luna's breakdown have triggered government involvement? Or was this just a cover story to keep her hidden from enemies who wanted her dead? Lee's own silence is a prison. She knows that telling the truth could destroy her son, her reputation, and everything she's built. Yet she can't help but wonder if she made a deal with the devil to save Luna or to protect herself. Every time Finn demands answers, she looks away. It's over, she tells him. You have to let her go. But her voice cracks just slightly, betraying the truth. It's not over, not even close. Back at Spencer Publications, Bill's investigation takes a dark turn. One of his journalists receives an anonymous tip containing a photo, grainy but unmistakable, of Luna sitting in a sterile white room, her hair shorter, her expression blank, staring into nothing. The timestamp is recent. The source claims she's being held at a facility known only as Station 47, somewhere in Nevada or maybe overseas. Bill knows he's getting too close, especially after a black SUV follows him home one night. Still, he can't stop. For the first time in years, Bill feels something beyond power or money. He feels responsible. He never trusted Lee fully, but now he suspects she's part of a cover-up that could reach even deeper than the Forresters imagine. When he brings the photo to Ridge, their rivalry briefly dissolves. The two men agree on one thing. If Luna is alive and being held against her will, they'll find her. Yet not everyone wants her found. Hope warns them that digging into secret government programs could put their families in danger. Brooke pleads with Ridge to drop it before it's too late. But Ridge, fueled by guilt and paternal instinct toward RJ, can't back down. Meanwhile, in her hidden cell, Luna counts the days by scratching tiny marks on the wall. She no longer knows where she is. There are no windows, no clocks, no sense of time. Every few days, a doctor visits her, asking the same questions. Do you remember what happened that night? Do you understand why you're here? Her answers vary between silence and rebellion. Sometimes she shouts. Sometimes she weeps. The memories blur together. The night of the fatal crash, the betrayal, the screaming. But one image stays crystal clear. Lee standing at the edge of the chaos, whispering something to a man in a black suit. Luna knows now that her aunt had a role in this, whether to protect her or to punish her. Every time she hears the door click open, her heart jumps, hoping it's RJ coming to rescue her. But it never is. Only the silence answers her, stretching longer each day. The show's emotional gravity has reached a fever pitch, and fans are divided. Some believe Luna deserves what happened, that she went too far and crossed a line that couldn't be forgiven. Others see her as another casualty of Lee's obsession with control and perfection. Online theories explode daily. Was Luna framed? Did she fake her own breakdown? Is she part of a psychological experiment? Or worse, is someone using her as leverage against the Forresters and Spencers? Even Taylor Hayes re-enters the picture, drawn by rumors that Luna's treatment facility has ties to an old psychiatric program Taylor once studied. Taylor believes Luna's imprisonment may not be punishment, but part of a covert psychological containment experiment funded by private investors. When she brings this theory to Finn, he's horrified. Could his mother be involved in something that twisted? Finn confronts Lee one final time, demanding the truth. And though she doesn't confess outright, her trembling hands give him the answer he feared most. She didn't just know about Luna's transfer. She ordered it. The revelation shatters Finn completely. His loyalty to his mother collapses as he vows to uncover where Luna really is and bring her home. He secretly contacts Bill, and together, the two form an unlikely alliance. Rich joins them too, despite Brooke's pleas to stay out of it. The trio, Forrester, Spencer, and Finnegan, begin working together, following a trail of encrypted documents, offshore accounts, and medical transport records. The deeper they dig, the darker the truth becomes. Luna's transfer wasn't an accident. It was part of a program designed to remove emotionally compromised assets from the public eye, a secret network that reconditions or erases problematic individuals connected to high-profile families. When Rich realizes that someone used Forrester Creations' corporate funds to pay for the transport, his blood runs cold. Someone inside the company helped. Could it have been Carter trying to protect the family from scandal? Or Steffy, who feared another public relations disaster? Every theory fractures the family even more. Back in her isolated room, Luna begins to hear whispers from other inmates, voices saying they were also hidden away because they knew too much. One woman tells her, "They can't kill you, Luna. You're worth too much." That sentence becomes Luna's new mantra. She begins planning quietly, carefully. She notices guard rotations, memorizes key card patterns, and writes secret notes on the undersides of her tray. She knows that if she can just get one message out, one piece of evidence, RJ will come for her. And indeed, back in LA, RJ hasn't stopped searching. When he receives a mysterious envelope with no return address containing a lock of hair and a note that reads, "Still breathing," he breaks down. He knows it's her. He takes the note to Bill and Finn, who both recognize the handwriting as Luna's. The revelation reignites the mission. They now know for certain Luna is alive, and she's fighting. As this saga unfolds, the bold and the beautiful has never been darker or more riveting. The romance, the betrayal, and the psychological twists merge into something haunting and cinematic. Viewers watch as Luna's spirit refuses to die, even in confinement, while those she loved risk everything to uncover the truth. Lee's empire teeters on collapse, Finn is consumed by guilt, and Bill Spencer becomes the unlikely hero of a conspiracy larger than anyone imagined. As the final scenes of the arc approach, one question lingers in every viewer's mind. When Luna returns, because she surely will, what version of her will come back? The innocent girl who loved RJ, or the broken woman forged in secrecy and betrayal? The walls of the secret prison hold more than Luna. They hold the truth about every dark deal, every cover-up, every lie that's ever bound these families together. And when that truth finally bursts into daylight, it won't just set Luna free. It will burn Los Angeles to the ground. But even in the deepest corners of isolation, truth has a way of clawing its way out. The walls that held Luna captive could never contain her spirit forever. The whispers of rebellion began to echo louder, the surveillance glitches lasted longer, and the guards seemed more distracted each day, as if someone on the inside was helping her. Luna had started to piece together fragments of information, tiny crumbs that painted a terrifying picture. This wasn't a normal prison. It was a facility designed to erase people. They called it restructuring, a process meant to rewrite memories, alter personalities, and rebuild broken identities into compliant ones. Luna realized the therapy sessions she endured weren't meant to heal her, but to reprogram her. Every time she was injected with a calming serum, she'd lose hours, sometimes days, waking up disoriented but with new false memories inserted into her mind. But Luna was clever. She began to fake compliance, answering every question exactly how her handlers wanted. "Yes, I understand," she'd whisper. "Yes, I forgive them." But inside, she remembered everything, every betrayal, every tear, every promise broken by the people she once trusted most. Especially Lee. The woman who claimed to protect her family had turned her into a ghost. And now, Luna vowed, Lee would face the same kind of isolation she forced upon her niece. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, tension had reached a breaking point. Bill, Ridge, and Finn's alliance was no longer a quiet operation. It was an obsession. Ridge's marriage to Brooke was hanging by a thread, Finn's relationship with Steffy was collapsing under the weight of lies, and Bill's empire was under surveillance by mysterious agents warning him to drop the case or lose everything. But none of them stopped. Every clue they uncovered led them closer to the heart of the conspiracy, a shell corporation called Helios Therapeutics, which owned the facility where Luna was being kept. The company's financial trail led directly to offshore accounts tied to Lee Finnegan's early career and a foundation she once helped establish for mental health rehabilitation. The horror dawned on Finn. The very foundation his mother built had become a prison system, and Luna wasn't its first victim. Ridge found dozens of files containing names of people declared mentally unstable or legally deceased, only to vanish under government contracts. When Finn confronted Lee with the evidence, her icy facade finally cracked. She screamed that she did it to protect Luna, that the world wanted her dead, that she made a deal to keep her alive. But to Finn, it didn't sound like protection. It sounded like control. "You didn't save her, Mother," he said with trembling rage. "You erased her." As Finn stormed out, Lee collapsed in tears, clutching a photo of her and Luna from happier days. For the first time, she admitted to herself that she had gone too far. But she didn't know that her confession had already been recorded. Bill had hidden a device in the room, and now he had the leverage he needed to expose everything. When he played the recording for Ridge, they agreed the time for patience was over. Using Spencer Publications as cover, Bill arranged a covert extraction mission through a network of private contractors. They had one goal: find Luna alive or dead. Finn joined them, driven by guilt and fury, but deep down, a part of him feared what they'd find. Would Luna even recognize him after all this time? Would she forgive him for not stopping his mother sooner? Inside the facility, Luna sensed that something was about to change. The guards were on edge, new shipments of medical supplies arrived, and she overheard whispers of Protocol Omega. One night, while pretending to sleep, she heard her doctor mutter, "She's scheduled for full erasure tomorrow." Panic surged through her veins, but she didn't scream. She waited, and then just before dawn, a faint tapping echoed from the vent above her bed. 3 slow taps, too fast. It was Morse code, the same pattern RJ used to send her secret love messages when they were at Forrester together. Her heart skipped. Could it be him? She didn't know how, but someone was reaching her. A paper note dropped through the vent moments later. It read, "Tonight. Stay awake." Tears streamed down her face as she hid the note under her mattress. For the first time in months, she felt hope burn again. That night, chaos erupted. Alarms blared as explosions rocked the facility. Smoke filled the corridors and armed men in tactical gear stormed the compound. Luna ducked under her bed as the door burst open. A voice shouted, "Luna Nozawa, we're here to get you out." She hesitated for a split second. Was it another trick? But when she saw the man remove his helmet, revealing Finn's tear-streaked face, she fell into his arms. "You came," she sobbed. "I promise," he replied. Together, they raced through the corridors, dodging guards and escaping through a hidden tunnel. Outside, helicopters circled overhead, and Luna collapsed in exhaustion as Bill pulled her into the chopper. The sight of Los Angeles twinkling in the distance brought tears to her eyes. She was free, but not healed. When the world learned of her rescue, the city erupted. The Forresters and Spencers faced public scandal, the media calling it the hidden prison conspiracy. Lee was arrested under suspicion of human rights violations, though she swore she only wanted to protect her niece. Steffy tried to contain the fallout, but Finn's relationship with her imploded completely. He couldn't look at her without remembering how easily she once believed his mother's lies. Ridge and Brooke stood by RJ as he reunited with Luna at Spencer Tower. Their embrace, fragile yet full of love, symbolized both pain and rebirth. Luna's eyes carried the trauma of her imprisonment, but her voice was stronger than ever. She told the press, "They tried to erase me, but I remembered everything. And now I'm going to make sure no one else disappears like I did."